for original reporting.
Steve Kathan. The standoff between the U.S. and Iran deepens with an American port blockade now in its second day. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer in Qatar is keeping tabs on traffic in the Strait of Hormuz.
We know that 2 tankers have moved through the straits and apparently out into the Gulf of Oman. It remains to be seen whether they'll be picked up later, but for the moment there seems to have been no challenge from the United States. And a sprinkling of other smaller ships, cargo vessels, appear to have come right through, some of them docking at Iranian ports and carrying on. So it's got everybody wondering what the U.S. rules are.
The Secretary of State Rubio calls rare direct talks in Washington today for Israel and Lebanon a historic opportunity. California Democrat Eric Swallwell says he plans to resign from Congress. Welcome news to Annika Albrecht, one of several women to accuse him of sexual assaults or misconduct.
The idea that this man who has already abused his power would be given even more power and could potentially harm even more women made my whole body sick.
Swallwell has denied the allegations. There's been a court ruling over a contempt investigation of the Trump administration over deportation flights, as we hear from CBS's Michael Wallace.
The chief judge of the federal trial-level court in Washington, D.C., James Boasberg, had ordered the administration to turn around planes carrying Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador last year. The flights went on anyway, and Boasberg later ruled there was probable cause to find the government in criminal contempt for defying his order. Now, a 3-judge panel from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit has ruled Boasberg must end what the court calls his intrusive contempt investigation.
In the Midwest, damage assessments are going on in several states after more than a dozen reported tornadoes late yesterday. Meteorologist Craig Allen says violent weather could be a factor again today.
A level 3 out of 5 for an enhanced risk of tornadoes and severe weather basically covers Iowa, northern sections of Illinois, and into Wisconsin. This puts more than 14 million people in an area of 51,000 square miles at risk through today.
Well, CBS's Jim Krasula tells us from the looks of a new poll, more of us than ever are worried about climate change.
4 in 10 adults in the U.S. have a, quote, great deal of concern about global warming or climate change, according to a new poll from Gallup. A similar feeling ranged in the low to mid-30s between 2009 and 2016, according to Gallup.
And on Wall Street, the Dow is up 300 points. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
It might take time to think. They might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Coming up, newly released video from that King County Metro bus crash. But first, look at KIRO Newsradio traffic. Rain is here, but the traffic manageable for now. Heading from Linwood to Renton will take you 75 minutes if you use 405. Just 61 minutes, which is a comparative bargain. Below average if you take I-5. Now, if you take Bellevue to Federal Way, you are seeing some congestion around Renton. That will slow you down just a little bit. Issaquah to Bellevue taking longer than typical. It's 21 minutes with some slowdowns there. I'm not seeing any accidents on my cameras, but I will be checking into that. Some light delays from SeaTac to Seattle. That'll take you 32 minutes, slightly above average. The good news is that traffic across the bridges are just fine. Traffic brought to you by Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. This month, when you install new air conditioning or a heat pump, you'll get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Scheduled today at dayandnight.net.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. Video from last month's King County Metro bus crash is now being released. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says it appears to show the driver slamming into 7 vehicles on a busy North Seattle street, then telling responders his blood pressure was too low.
The audio is scary enough. A Metro bus crashing into 7 different vehicles along a mile stretch of Greenwood Avenue in North Seattle back on March 18th.
You all right, brother?
Passenger Ernie Mackison, credited with grabbing the wheel and hitting the brakes, tells the John Curley Show the driver said he was suffering from low blood pressure.
You knew about this dude's blood pressure problem. You let him drive.
And on board that bus, the driver appeared to confirm that.
Yeah, I think my blood pressure.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio. Radio.
A Bothell quantum computing company says it will add up to 2,000 jobs over the next 5 years as part of a significant expansion. The company IonQ made the announcement, funded by a $500,000 award from the governor's Strategic Reserve Fund to the Economic Alliance of Snohomish County. King County's flood control district faces a lawsuit from dozens of homeowners along the White River after flooding tore through their neighborhood in December, causing significant damage. The story from KIRO 7's Brandon Thompson.
The claim says the King County Flood Control District knew in 2024 the levees are, quote, aging and in need of replacement, and the district, quote, admitted that the levee systems for these rivers were inadequate and had serious safety issues. Lily and Jacqueline point out their property taxes go to the district to protect their homes. Now they're asking for the district to pay them back for the damage.
There is a percentage of the taxes that we pay that goes to this type of incidents. We haven't seen anything.
Seattle is racing to build 500 shelter units to address homelessness before the World Cup kicks off June 15th. That's the plan from Mayor Katie Wilson. Today, City Council is set to approve measures to speed up construction and site expansion, but city staff say the timeline is unrealistic with just 75 shelter units announced to date. KIRO News Radio weather. We're looking at rain today. It's already here, up to half an inch expected today. Look for the high of 48 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered showers, then thunderstorms possibly developing later in the day. Good news is that we expect things to dry out a little bit, but the clouds will stick with us for Thursday and Friday. Currently 45 degrees, rainy and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Where y'all been? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. It is so good to be back. What's happening, Ursula?
Good morning. What's new is you're now 50.
I'm now 50.
Looking nifty.
50, yeah.
You have an amazing Seattle Mariners jacket on, brand new. Saw you just receive it. Thank you.
Shout out to the Mariners.
Beautiful.
This is a beautiful jacket. Hey, what we got going on today?
Well, okay. Question.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does family fun actually cost these days? Because you got the spring fair going on right now, Mariners games, eventually Seahawks games. How much does it cost these days to have a family outing? Well, we did the math, and we're going to break it down for you coming up at 9:30. Our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Seattle police say they're not going to be using surveillance cameras to monitor crowds during the World Cup unless there is a specific credible threat. And at the same time, some business owners, like in the Magnolia neighborhood, say they have called police during active break-ins and no officers showed up. Also, SPD is rolling out a new approach, putting officers on foot in neighborhoods like Magnuson Park. We have a lot to unpack, and we're happy to tell you that Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes is joining us live now. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Ursula. How are you today?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. We're used to you being in studio, so now we're watching you on video. But let's start with the World Cup, because it's something that we're talking about a lot these days. You were saying that there's going to be no use of surveillance cameras unless there is a credible threat. But for an event that big, why not use every available tool that you have?
Well, we're operating off of the mayor's directive that we can proceed with the camera installation in the Pioneer Square Stadium area. However, we're not allowed to turn those cameras on unless there is a credible threat. So obviously, we're monitoring all of our channels. I'm speaking with the FBI almost weekly, looking at what threats we may have to the games. And so at the time that I think I need to make a case to the mayor on credible threats, I feel comfortable in doing so.
If the mayor had not given this directive, would that have been something that you would have automatically done, given that it is something that has been proven effective, for example, at the Northgate Light Rail Station, where you were able to catch a suspect who was caught on CCTV?
Yes, as you know, the city council last year approved the expansion of our real-time crime center to 3 areas, the area in front of Garfield, as well as the Chinatown International District, as well as Pioneer Square. However, that was halted with the exception of the installation in Pioneer Square until the mayor's office could gather more data on the actual project.
Chief, I want to stay on this topic about cameras. I think recently you mentioned that 10 of last year's homicide cases were cracked because of footage caught on the real-time crime center cameras. And
that's correct.
So my question would be, if those cameras solved murders, what potentially is the cost to the community for turning them off?
Well, the thing is, you cannot predict when and where bad behavior will be, but I will say that the placement of the cameras have been spot on. The cameras actually assisted in 17 homicide cases, but were able to help to solve 10 of those. And so they're very, very well placed, but this decision is out of my hands at this particular time. We've given all the information that we can give. We have made the case, and my instruction to folks is to follow our existing rules, and we will allow the decision makers, policy makers, people who will be guiding the future of what real-time crime center will look like here in Seattle.
Isn't today your Our City, Our Safety 2026 community meeting tonight over at
Absolutely.
Miller?
Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Over at Miller Community Center on Capitol Hill. That East Precinct that comes up often obviously has seen a lot of crime statistics, if you will. Why is Capitol Hill so different? And what's your honest answer to residents who kind of feel like, yo, it's rough over here?
Well, it's a high volume neighborhood, a lot of traffic, a lot of foot traffic. It's a mixed use neighborhood. You have businesses and residential folks in the same space. A lot of issues with nightlife. Whenever you have nightlife and alcohol being served and people want to go out and have a good time, you will have crime and disorder. But I think the answer is the same anywhere in Seattle, and that is consistency. We have to be consistent on what we do in our approach. I placed or replaced the captains in all the precincts, and the captains were given a 4-year commitment. So they're putting long-term strategies in place to ensure that we stay consistent in our approach and we don't shift courses.
You are listening to the voice of Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Speaking of neighborhoods, in the Magnolia neighborhood recently, there were multiple break-ins on the same night. And at least one business owner told KIRO 7 TV that police were called during the crime and they didn't show up. I want you to listen to this and then respond.
Going to the city and asking for police intervention here because on the night of the break-ins, my daughter arrived and called and they did not come.
In a situation like that, what should a business owner realistically expect right now, given your staffing?
Yeah, it depends on what is happening at the time. Obviously, those crimes that are life-threatening will take precedent. We can't predict when those happen, and when those happen, it will take us away from crimes that are property crimes or crimes when there's no threat to the person or to the business. That's certainly unfortunate, but we are working extremely hard to restaff our department. We're looking at different deployment models. We're looking at bringing in officers on overtime. We've done that before. And so, it's about service and it's about service delivery, and I'm committed to being better at that each and every day.
Chief, I want to go back to that question about Our City, Our Safety, that community meeting tonight. What you want to talk about in that meeting?
Yeah, so what we do in those meetings is we talk about where the state of the neighborhood, the district is, the precinct is at that time. We talk about the things that we're doing well, and then we give the community the mic, and we allow them to talk in small groups and report back to us about what they want, and then we follow up with those meetings. So this is just the first meeting that we're having in East Precinct. We've done those in other meetings. The second meeting is, this is what we heard from you. We hear you, we see you, we are accountable to you, and then we're going to come back and present our plan and show the boots on the ground and what we've done to address those problems.
I want to go back to the discussion because there are it's not just Magnolia, but other business owners who have their businesses broken into and maybe feel like, why aren't we getting a response? I mean, what is your message? You said, we want to improve. What are response times? If it's not violent, should they expect any kind of response?
Well, it depends on the dispatch. People have to know that when you call 911, you're actually not calling the police department. You're actually calling the 911 dispatch center. And that dispatch center, which we call our care team, who does an amazing job, they will then dispatch us as the calls are prioritized. We don't self-dispatch ourselves. That's not our scope or body of work. When someone calls 911, they're not calling a police station or a police officer or a police car. Mm-hmm. They're calling a triage center, if you will, and that triage center will send the police as appropriate. But if there are life-threatening calls, they'll send us there first, and then they'll go down the list, and then they will dispatch us to where we need to be. So we're not self-dispatching. We don't know that that crime occurred or that that person has waited for 20 minutes or 25 minutes until we're dispatched. We're trying some different things where we're bringing in some of our specialty units to handle some of the low priority calls, what we call 3 and 4 calls, where they'll come in and they'll work. We have our SWAT team answering calls, our community response group, they're answering calls, and we're just trying to pitch in, and it is an all hands on deck approach to providing a better level of service here in Seattle.
Okay, I want to also talk to you about something that is a recurring problem. And now, just days after the city cleared homeless encampments from 3 Beacon Hill parks, the tents are already back. And, of course, neighbors are frustrated. And I want you to hear what one of them said to Como 4 News, and here's a chance for you to respond.
We need to have cops treating this as a beat situation. We need a solution. That solution is realizable. The time has come to act.
Now, what can SPD do, and what can you not do in these situations?
Yeah, so let me be clear. Police departments should not be involved in homeless removal or homeless policing. It has never worked in any police department that I've ever studied. It works best when you bring in other resources like our unified care team and other resources, and these some of our nonprofits that get a lot of funding to deal with this issue. They are best to deal with this issue. We're there to ensure that no one gets hurt, that the persons can be moved or relocated or found permanent housing if there's something that happens. But we should not own homelessness. Police officers are asked to do a lot, and this is one thing, and I think that we all agree. Also, it's important to note that our policy, the city policy that we all agreed to before I got here, says that there has to be a 72-hour notice, give people 72 hours to leave, and then the unified care team and other folks will come by and remove them. So there is a process, and it's a process that apparently we all agreed to.
You listen to the voice of Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula was talking about response times, and that led me to ask about staffing and how that's going. And I would assume that I think you're in the 900s right now, and I'm sure full staffing would probably be at around 1,300. Talk to us about how that's going.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. We're about 950, 958 now. We should be around 1,400. So my analogy is really, really simple. If you had a business and you operated your business on $1,400 a month, and every month you had $1,400, now all of a sudden you only have $900. What changes would you have to make to your business in order to keep the doors open? Would you have to perhaps change the way you provide service to people? Would you have to ask people to do more, to stay longer? What would be the effects of that business? And that's what I'm doing. I'm running a business, if you will, and I'm trying to manage the resources that I have with what we should have, which is around 1,400. But there is good news. Last year, we had a net of 94 officers. This year, we hope to have a net of about 86 officers. If we can continue that, then by 2029, we should be back to full strength. And my responsibility is to make sure that they're deployed appropriately, which is why we're doing things like the neighborhood resource officers who can specifically address some of those neighborhoods where we're seeing high crime and high crime areas and disorder, as well as some of our business communities where perhaps you don't have to wait 20 minutes. You can call that police officer that you know that will work your beat and wait for that person to come and handle your problem.
And Chief, I do want to end on a positive note, because this is something that you recently announced, what's going on at Magnuson Park, an area where they had previously seen an increase in crimes, and you dedicated a team of officers to handle the vast majority of calls, and there's been success.
Absolutely. The officers during our 90-day pilot were able to reduce crime by double digits. They were responsible for about 94% of all actions in or around the Magnuson Park neighborhood area. They were able to establish great relationships with the community, and now we have 3 dedicated officers to that area. This is really who I am at the core when it comes to being a police officer. For me, it is about smaller neighborhood ownership, beat cop, knowing the neighborhood, knowing the people. And as I always say, a good cop knows who the oldest person in the neighborhood is, and they know who just had a baby. And that is the kind of policing that I think we want.
Chief, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. I know you got to get going, but thank you so much. I always I like to take a shot at you before you go. I've been looking in the background, and I'm disappointed. We have taken pictures together. I don't see one dang on picture of me in the back.
It may be in front of me. That's probably why you can't see that.
Oh,
sir.
Okay.
Happy birthday! I think someone said you had a birthday. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your dog turned 50.
Woo! I mean, I didn't mean it that way.
Be careful now.
I'm an April birthday as well. So
when's your birthday?
April 24th.
Okay. We'll interview you then on that day with a picture of me in the back.
Chief Barnes,
sir.
thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a minute. We've got to say something because
you can go first.
Yeah,
or you want me to? You might want to go first because I might torch this place.
This whole idea of not having cameras, you can tell the chief.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's Katie Wilson. That's the new mayor's position. But you've got so many people coming into this area from everywhere, and you're taking away an important tool in one of the biggest events in this city in a long time. It makes 0 sense.
First of all, that police chief was between a rock and a hard place,
yes.
boy. I mean, he's like, hey, I'm just doing my job, right? He almost said Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? He was in that situation, and you can tell because this is what law enforcement does. They know what it takes to solve crimes, what it takes to do a better job of keeping us safe. But I got a connection for you, right? And I got to tell you, Mayor Wilson's office, I don't like what you guys are doing. Because what happens is it reminds me of something. It reminds me, let's go back yesteryear. There was a group of people that was going around saying, defund the police. Hear me out for a sec. So the same folks that was saying defund the police are here today talking about we need to shut off some cameras. No. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Here's the crazy part. People that live in these neighborhoods would welcome these cameras.
Yeah, many.
They
yes,
want
most.
those cameras.
Yes.
But people that don't live in those neighborhoods make these decisions. Like my dog Big O said when he came on the show. It's the people that are afraid of crime that make and talk these decisions. But the people impacted by crime
don't have
no
a voice. Yes.
Like, I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Like this ain't,
I mean, how many crimes were solved
this is
because
wrong.
of the cameras? I mean, you see it in that Northgate light rail station. That's the most visible thing that I've seen recently. We're like, thank God there was a camera there.
Like, I'm sorry. If you're in public, I want cameras up. Forget all the, the civil liberty. Shut up. No. We want the cameras in. You just heard the man say 10 cases were solved last year. 17 of them were impacted because of the cameras. And so you shut them off. Now what? And it's all
you have to wait till there's a credible threat.
It's all fun and games until it's your family members. But again, when you're testing out your thesis statement because you wrote that term paper in college and you want to just try it out. All right, Ursula.
We're talking about family fun.
I mean, technically, yeah, we're going to talk about fun next. Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
It's difficult to trust someone with your loved one's care. Aegis Living earns your trust every single day. Voted best senior living in Western Washington and ranked #1 senior living community in all of America by Seniorly. Aegis sets the standard for luxury assisted living and award-winning memory care. Resort-style comfort with state-of-the-art AI fall prevention, a staff who loves what they do, and your loved ones. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO. That's AEGIS living.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
The Kendall Spring Sales Event is on now at Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville. Add up even more savings with Chevy Truck Month discounts and savings up to $11,865 off MSRP on all new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST models. Go electric with big savings on all new 2026 Chevy Equinox EV RS models. Now up to $13,750 off MSRP. Chevy, together, let's drive. We've moved a few blocks south to our brand new location, just down 33rd Avenue across Marine Drive. We're wrapping up the remodel and are open during construction. Come on by and get in on the spring savings today at Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville. Kendall, let's start something great.
Must show proof of current Costco membership to qualify. See Costco.com/GM for full details. All financing and approved credit. Prices listed do not include taxes, title, or license. A negotiable documentary service fee of up to $200 may be added to the sale price of the vehicle. Subject to prior sales, see dealer for details. Offer expires 4/30/26.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action. action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now through May 3rd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent, accurate auto body.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm John Repp. Pakistan is attempting to arrange a second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran after last weekend's marathon discussions that failed to end in a deal. CBS News contributor Robert Berger reports from Jerusalem, describing life during the ceasefire and what the next phase of war might look like.
There have been no Iranian ballistic missiles falling here in Jerusalem or anywhere else in the country since the ceasefire. But if you look at public opinion, there's a very interesting poll which shows that more than half of Israelis don't expect this ceasefire to last very long, not more than a few months.
Bellevue police broke up what they say was a prolific jewelry theft operation targeting older victims. Detectives arresting two people last Wednesday after a call to an assisted living facility in Federal Way, following those suspects all the way to Kirkland.
You're under arrest for theft, for stealing.
What stealing?
Stealing people's money, jewelry.
No.
Oh, yeah. We've been watching you.
This is the result of a long-term investigation into a string of thefts since 2024. The online gaming platform Roblox is rolling out new age-based accounts for young gamers. KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon says this includes more parental controls and restricted chat functionality for children and young teenagers.
The change within Roblox comes after multiple families are suing the company, with some lawyers calling the game a hotbed for predators looking to exploit kids.
This platform allows adults and kids to coexist without the proper safety measures.
In January, a Snohomish County family filed a lawsuit claiming a predator posed as a child and groomed their daughter. There are nearly 80 similar lawsuits pending against Roblox.
On Wall Street, taking a look at stocks, the Dow is up 278 points. S&P 500 also up at 67 points, and the NASDAQ up significantly at 380 points, 1.6% change. Taking a look at KIRO News Radio traffic, a messy morning right now. There was a crash on northbound Highway 167 that was causing some problems heading into Renton from Kent. There was a Metro bus in the left-hand lane. Looks like that might have been towed away, but it's still causing you problems. South Center to Bellevue, an above-average travel time along 405, about a 10-minute delay, taking you 45 minutes to navigate slowdowns along the S curves all the way through Newcastle. 405 heading from Bellevue to Linwood clears up after that. Heading north from Seattle to Linwood on I-5, you're seeing a slight delay, 21 minutes total travel time. And then Issaquah to Bellevue, some slowdowns on I-90, close to Issaquah, taking you 21 minutes. Good news if you're heading southbound, though. Average travel times or even below average travel times if you're heading from Linwood through Seattle and through Bellevue down to Renton. KIRO News Radio weather. Yeah, a lot of rain happening. You could have about a half an inch of rainfall today before it's all said and done. Tomorrow, you could see some thunderstorms in the afternoon, cloudy in the morning, and then slowly drying out Thursday and Friday, but still highs in the upper 50s. Currently in downtown Seattle, we have light rain and 45 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Tuesday to all of you. It is springtime, and you just heard John's forecast. With the exception of today and tomorrow, we're getting into some of the better weather, and you're maybe thinking, hey, let's take the family out and enjoy the spring. And then you look at the prices for things like the Washington Spring Fair in Puyallup. Well, Fox 13 did that, and they found that, you know how easy it is for two adults to spend $200 at the fair? And that's before you even really get into it, because, for example, I mean, if you're looking at parking, food, and then they pointed out that one brisket sandwich is $22 at the fair.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
It's crazy.
It is. But I was thinking about it because the fair to me has always been super expensive. You're not going there because you think you're going to get bargains. But at some point, when does family fun stop being a tradition? And now it's like, ooh, that's a luxury. And it's not just the fair. I mean, let's be real. Even going to a sporting event is an investment.
Well, in the Midwest, the fair, right, growing up, whether it's in Chicago, Illinois, or especially in Indiana, a lot of county fairs happen. And actually, you did get a good deal. You did get a great price on things. And
10 years ago, 20 years ago, right?
And then, like today, like you're talking about $200 for two people at the spring fair. That would be like, let me help some of y'all relate to this. That would be like going to the casino, but at least if you go to the casino, you got a chance to win your money back.
Not a good chance.
At the fair, gone. Corn dog, $23. A brisket sandwich, $22.
If there's a corn dog that's $23, are you kidding me?
Read it. Yes.
$23
$23 corn dogs.
Like, what's in the corn dog? That's like that's cheap food.
By the way, I do like corn dogs.
I do too.
Give me that over a brisket sandwich.
At the fair, they're especially good.
The thing is that these type of things, okay, I just want to ask, if you're listening, when you all hear Ursula give and read off the news and says, hey, for two, the average is $200.
If you're lucky, I think.
What do you guys think? Do you guys just think, oh, well, like what do you think that does? You want to talk about mental health issues? How about the people who are families of four that have to really tell their kids they can't go to the fair? I was talking to my son this past weekend, and we were talking about parenting. And I told them, yes, I had a hard time. I went through a lot of things. And we were talking about spring break, and I just mentioned to them how I told and talked to you guys about how my kids on spring break had to go clean cars. To which Baby G says, yeah, but there was no social media for us to look at to see what other kids are doing. And Baby G was like, actually, I'd argue that my spring break was, not only was I cleaning cars, but I was going to Seahawks houses and cleaning cars. So I thought my spring break was better than others. So my point, Ursula,
how cute is that?
My point is that today your friends are going to the fair. You look on social media, you're like, Mom, Dad, how come we can't go?
I know. It's or let's take a family of 4 to a Mariners game. I mean, how much would you estimate? Like $150, $250 when you factor in tickets, if you're actually paying for tickets, parking, couple of hot dogs and drinks.
Now, here's the thing about Mariners games. You can actually trick that out, meaning you can hit the light rail, right?
Yes.
Pull up that way. Them bleacher seats, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can
okay,
way.
You can still get
You can get a little
somewhat.
Something. It's cheaper to go to a Mariner game than a fair.
Yes, I think it's still more accessible. Seahawks, that is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
I mean, that could easily be $500, $800 for a family of 4.
Yeah.
Again, having to buy the tickets as well, and then getting the drinks. And yet, I mean, we're talking about an increase of anywhere from 30 to 50% from just the last 5 years, depending on what event you're talking about. And again, we'd look at it like, hey, but my income has not gone up 30 to 50%.
No.
So, I mean, I would love to hear from people who are listening right now. What are those things that you've just said, you know what, just not affordable anymore? Is it the fare? I mean, for me, growing up, so now I went to the Lane County Fair in Eugene, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was because I wasn't allowed to date, so that would be kind of the place I could go to meet people that I wanted to date.
Fairs, malls, yep.
Valley River Mall.
Everyone have a mall
Eugene
story.
County
Oh
Fair.
my God.
Everybody's got the mall story.
Yeah, exactly. But I do remember, I mean, that was such a fun time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't exorbitant prices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you could just spend hours and hours there.
So,
and I would hate for that to not be a thing for young people because of the cost.
Ursula, when I lived right down the street from Knott's Berry Farm back in the day, and then I wasn't far away from Disneyland. This was before kids, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, anyways, when I was there, and we went all the time. And then I realized something this past weekend. I was like, wow, I never took my kids to Disneyland or anything like that. So
Disneyland is out of control.
I'm going to
with
make
the
that
prices.
up. My goal is, because I'm going to get my oldest granddaughter this summer.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a whole experience and just take her to Disneyland.
Oh, that would be so fun.
You know what I
see
mean?
it through her- Yes.
I just want to be able to say I did it once in my life.
You should wait though until she's like 5, so she like has a permanent memory of
my
it.
6-year-old granddaughter.
Oh, your 6-year? Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's the perfect age for it.
Robin Puyallup makes a good point.
He always does.
Because we also talked about the cost of raising a kid is now over $300,000, according to this latest study. And Robin Puyallup says, and y'all were wondering why Gen Z is having kids later in life or not at all?
Well, you should hear some of the other reasons why some folks say that Gen Z isn't having kids, but we choose enjoy.
We are choosing joy. We're choosing joy.
World famous. Would you rather? We're doing that next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
For a limited time, upgrade your home's comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. New windows help keep your home warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and your energy bills lower year-round. Plus, enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest, only through April 15th. Hurry, schedule your free estimate before April 15th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, you know, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Everybody, it is the Gee and Ursula Show. I hope you guys are choosing joy out there because I got to tell you, it's something. Hey, but coming up at 10 o'clock, you know what? I'm telling you something right now. If you do decide to get into politics and you put a post on social media saying that you got permission from your wife to go ahead and run, and then less than 2 weeks later, there's an investigation of house ethics on you. So we'll talk about that story next. I think you know who we're talking about. Would you rather?
Let me make something crystal clear. This one truly scares me.
It's time to make Ursula uncomfortable.
There we go. This is a good one. Would you rather earn $20,000 more per year or spend $20,000 less per year?
Oh my gosh, that's so easy. I would rather earn $20,000 more per year. Then I could decide what I want to do with that additional $20,000.
Hey, you know what's interesting? I'm so glad you said that was easy, because that motto is really that's the solution for a lot of people that want to tell you to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Well, if you want to make $20,000 more a year, you just need to spend less. Thank you, Ursula, that was very easy.
Okay, wait, is that easy for you too?
Yes.
I mean, you could still spend less, and then you would even have more money, but it's a lot easier to figure out life if you have $20,000 more than finding those $20,000 you need to save.
Thank you. Sophia?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm not going to cut my costs. If I just have $20,000 more, boom, everything's fixed. I'm not cutting it down.
All right. Would you rather own a small home outright, this is yours, or rent a luxury apartment forever?
Own a small home. Again, way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't easy.
Way too easy.
Forget that.
Okay, why?
I'm renting a luxury apartment forever over the small little home.
But at the end of the day, what do you have to pass on?
You know my motto.
Oh, wait, forget them kids?
Forget them kids. Everybody, we folks be spending life concerned, and then you do all this. I'm going to leave this for my babies, and then you pass on, and your baby's like, oh, you know what? I like going to the casino. Imagine that. You can't control what they do. Imagine, no. Big serious. Imagine you working so hard to leave it behind for your loved ones, and they have a gambling problem.
But
sports betting.
But you're going to the extreme.
How often do they do the right thing with the money, anyways?
Often. I say that because you often talk about. I mean, that's how you have the whole generational wealth thing too. I mean, how much easier would your life have been, to some degree, if you had a whether it's a starter home, a tiny thing, you've got something that is passed on to you, right? I mean, the other thing is, and I see what you're saying, because, yeah, you would own it, but, you know, you're cramped, and the parties that you have at your house, everyone's cramped, et cetera, and I get it. I mean, you wouldn't fully enjoy it as much as if you had all the room in the world and had a luxury place,
right.
But I would still, bottom line, go with owning it.
I think this question might have been easier 2 to 3 months ago, or before Inauguration Day, January 25. Would you rather get a 40% discount at the grocery store every time, or free gas for life? I told you.
Okay. I'm going with 40% discount at the grocery store.
Me too. Me too.
So because I have some control over how much driving I can do.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I would do free gas for life, because if you think about it, like, you could go on road trips and not have to think about that cost at all. So you could just drive across to another state where groceries are cheaper and it wouldn't cost you anything else. And I don't know. I feel like gas is more unpredictable in some ways.
But you have to eat every day.
Sure do.
Yeah, but, you know.
There ain't no discounts on gas, though. You can go to the grocery store all the time. There's things are on clearance all the time.
Yeah,
There's never deals on gas.
For real. Have you looked at that Safeway app? You know,
that's true.
Suddenly I'm getting 4 packets of eggs.
Okay. Wait. Let's go back to that whole concept. Yeah. I am always just stunned when there are still people who refuse to sign up for whether it's the Safeway card or the QFC card, to get the better deals.
They don't want to give their information.
I know, and I'm just shocked. And sometimes I want to say, like, "Hey, do you want to use my card?" Because I'm thinking, "Oh my God, you are spending so much more money."
Yeah. Last question. I'm gonna sneak it in, Nick. Would you rather live mortgage-free in the suburbs or pay $3,000 a month to live downtown?
Mortgage free.
That's probably the smart answer.
There are studies right now. I'm not giving my answer, and I'm not trying to change the answer.
How come you're not answering?
There's a studies right now that says people that live closer and in the city move more, get more steps in than people that live in the suburbs. So I got to get up out of there. Get up out of there.
Get me out of the burbs.
$3,000 a month up there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'll live an extra 10 years.
Yeah.
Just move into the Equinox, you know?
No, seriously.
Okay, and the reality is, I could get a lot more bang for my buck if I moved further out from the city.
Yeah.
But I like being where I'm at.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Ursula, the House Ethics, they opened up an investigation on this man. Are we going?
This is just a disgusting story about someone who, if people knew about this, it should have come up way sooner.
Now I got a question. Some of you guys really don't care because there's other people that's been part of investigations and you didn't quite mind that one. So we'll talk about all that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
April showers bring May who am I kidding? We live in Western Washington. The only thing April showers bring are clogged and overflowing gutters, which can damage your home from your roof to your foundation. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and my friends at Valentine Roofing are ready to come to your rescue. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, Valentine also offers gutter guards to help keep leaves and needles out for good, giving you an additional layer of defense against clogged and overflowing gutters. Having Valentine out at my house and seeing their professionalism and attention to detail, it's no surprise Valentine Roofing was awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company and Silver for Best Gutter Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. You deserve the best too, so schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. You know? Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
Steve Kathan. For the first time in decades, direct talks between Israel and Lebanon, hosted in Washington by Secretary of State Rubio.
This is a process, not an event. This is more than just one day. This will take time, but we believe it's worth this endeavor, and it's a historic gathering that we hope to build on.
Israel's been pounding Hezbollah targets in Lebanon since the war in Iran began. CBS's Robert Berger in Jerusalem.
There are wide gaps as far as the goals. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel has two goals. First and foremost is the disarming of Hezbollah. And secondly, he says a peace that will last for generations with Lebanon. Now, Lebanon says, first of all, we need a ceasefire. The problem is, though, one of the warring parties, Hezbollah, is not even involved in these talks and actually urged Lebanon not to take part in the talks.
Well, President Trump is suggesting U.S. talks with Iran could soon rekindle.
In an interview with the New York Post, Trump praised Pakistan's Field Marshal General Asim Munir, saying, quote, he's fantastic, and therefore it's more likely that we go back there. The president also downplayed reports that the U.S. had asked Iran during the failed weekend talks to suspend uranium enrichment for at least 2 decades. He said, quote, I've been saying that they can't have nuclear weapons, so I don't like the 20 years. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration's fired 4 Justice Department prosecutors involved in cases against anti-abortion activists, accusing the Biden administration of abusing a law designed to protect abortion clinics from threats. Democrats plan to pursue a vote to oust Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez, who said he intends to retire after admitting to an affair with a staffer who later died by suicide. New Mexico Democrat Teresa Leger Fernandez.
We will move forward if he does not make his resignation, or if he prefers the word retirement, effective immediately.
Forecasters say 120 million people could be in the path of rough weather today from Texas to New York. In Kansas, CBS's Ian Lee reports one apparent tornado yesterday did damage south of Kansas City.
Another twister ripped through Ottawa, home to about 13,000 people, leaving most of the small town in the dark.
We've got people trying to go through to Eisenhower, and there's power lines at waist high.
The same storm system dumped hail in South Dakota. And farther east, hail bigger than baseballs pummeled southern Minnesota, blanketing roads.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 246 points. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, can one city permanently ban ICE facilities? That story next, but taking a look at the roads, delays heading from Bellevue to Everett and Bellevue to Federal Way. The good news is that these are just minor delays, slightly higher than average travel times. So you're looking at 26 minutes heading north to Everett, 27 minutes heading south to Federal Way, which is manageable. Now, you turn the commute around, head from Bellevue or into Bellevue from Renton. You're going to see some slow going around the S curves, but nothing too extreme. And actually, you have a very nice commute from Linwood to Seattle right now at 28 minutes. That's well below the average of about 48 minutes. I am seeing some slight problems heading across the 520 bridge, just a minute more than average. Looks like there's a minor slowdown on the east side. Otherwise, you're in good shape. This traffic report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night, presented by T-Mobile, is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. The Tukwila City Council is exploring ways to permanently ban all ICE facilities in the city. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest.
A temporary ban voted in place in February expires in August. Dozens of residents told city councilors at a meeting Monday they want ICE banned for good.
What do you want your legacy to be? Will you be the city council that exacerbates and perpetuates ICE's presence in Tukwila, or the city council that was willing to mitigate it but not eliminate it?
The current ban blocks new permits and rezoning requests tied to ICE detention centers. They can't ban ICE from signing private lease agreements or conducting operations. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A kayaker found a dead body in Crab Creek near Beverly in central Washington on Saturday night. Dense overgrowth making it difficult for crews to recover it. The Grant County Coroner's Office is working to notify the victim's family and determine the cause of death. SeaTac Airport needs a new terminal, but don't expect one for another 15 years. Airport Managing Director Wendy Ryder tells the Seattle Times they're working as quickly as they can on immediate priorities, including getting the airport ready for World Cup visitors this summer. She says long-term plans for a second terminal will help the airport meet record-breaking demand, with more than 52 million passengers traveling through the airport last year. The head of Tacoma's police union says more violent crimes will remain unsolved since a growing number of police departments have shut down automated license plate readers.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's a loss of a great tool.
Tacoma Police Union President Henry Betts tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 that mobile license readers make it nearly impossible for police departments to comply with the new Driver Privacy Act, which prohibits collecting data at sensitive locations like schools or health facilities. And for the first time in more than 50 years, Almond Roa is introducing a new flavor. The Tacoma-based candy maker Brown & Haley will debut a hazelnut mountain bar to all markets, likely rolling out in July or August. A spokesperson tells the Seattle Times that employees hope it's a success, quote, because they want to keep eating it. KIRO News Radio weather. Looking at rain all day today. Probably about accumulation of half an inch, and breezy winds gusting up to 25 miles an hour. The high of 48 degrees. Tomorrow, look for some thunderstorms developing later in the afternoon, and then partly cloudy skies Thursday, Friday, heading into Saturday. Look for the highs around 57 degrees. Currently in downtown Seattle, light rain and 47 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ooh-wee. I've been waiting for this topic to come up because this
You have?
Yeah, I have. Because this is the topic that I just want to know, are we going to have an honest discussion about the news that Ursula's going to bring up and talk about? Or do we pick and choose who we clutch our pearls about when something has happened or there's accusations of sexual assault or anything like that? So good morning to you, Ursula.
Oh my God, that is quite the tease. Hey, coming up at 10:30, we're going to talk about free will and the way you think and how much free will do you actually have? And when do you feel best about exercising that free will? Okay, well, we'll get into that coming up at 10:30. As always, we invite you to join us on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. That's 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. If you missed any part of our show, maybe you didn't catch the first hour, just a reminder that you can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. And also, got a new podcast called Ask Ursula. And if you haven't started listening to G and the Reset, that's been going on. And so you've got all sorts of choices for you. But let's get to it.
What's new at 10?
California Congressman Eric Swallwell is now stepping down after a wave of sexual misconduct allegations, including this claim from a former staffer who says he sexually assaulted her while she was intoxicated. Now, he is denying that particular allegation, but he admits what he calls poor judgment in his personal conduct and says all of this has become way too much of a distraction. CBS's Nancy Cordes actually spoke with one of the accusers in this exclusive interview.
Alisa Marco says she had a similar experience in 2021. She sent Swallwell a supportive message on Twitter, and to her surprise, he messaged right back.
I was so excited. I was a low-level staffer who had no real political background, and he was this established figure in Democratic politics.
They began to text, but she says he soon asked if she too was on Snapchat, where messages and photos automatically get deleted after they're viewed.
How did the tenor of his conversation change?
It started out as professional and platonic, and then slowly they became more and more explicit, asking me what I was wearing. Then one night he was on a trip and he was laying in his hotel room bed, and then he sent me a photo of his penis.
And that is just one of his accusers. There are multiple. Did you see that his staff actually issued a statement after some of this started coming out, and the staff said, yeah, we're supporting the staff members who have been coming forward, and pointed out that in some cases, yeah, they're still working for him because they're paid so little and they really can't leave their jobs right now. So it's not because they don't want to leave. It's because they need to have a paycheck.
Right.
But the House Ethics Committee opened an investigation, and lawmakers from both parties were actually talking about expelling him before he decided to resign. And I want you to listen to what Senator Elizabeth Warren had to say, and then we can talk about it.
People who are in positions of power and authority over others need to be held accountable when they take advantage of that position. And frankly, I'm glad that he'll be gone.
Swallwell has maintained the allegations of sexual assault are false.
No. Ursula, when you listen and hear about allegations coming out right there, and then they do the whole, they come out and they do the denial part and all that stuff, I'm not going to ask that. I'll change my course.
You're going to ask me, am I shocked?
Yes.
There are two things. My two reactions, main reactions are, one, actually I got three. One is I'm hacked off, first of all. Mm-hmm. Secondly, I think, how disgusting and stupid can you be that you think that you can get away with this? And then the third part is, yeah, too many people are getting away with it.
Right. There's a reason why people believe that they can get away with this, because for so long and still today, people do get away with this. Harvey Weinstein didn't just happen all of a sudden. People knew about Harvey Weinstein, but the power that Harvey Weinstein had so many just be quiet about it. Jeffrey Epstein, that man, and there's redactions of names and all that. We're still with that. The president of the United States is an adjudicated sexual abuser, right? We know he paid off a porn star when his wife just had a baby. This is the same man that said grab him by the you-know-what. In 2026, the reason why this keeps happening and people are clutch their pearls real quick about Eric Swallwell because of his side of the political coin. But when it's on the same side of what they agree with, they look the other way. We will continue to have this. This will I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get worse because people are going to be able to hide it better. And we have declared in this country that when these things happen, it's just based on who you are with, who's your agenda, who's the political force that's behind you. Like, I hate to bring up, and by the way, real quick, this dude, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Scum.
Yeah, and I hope that if there is any actual evidence and they are able to put criminal charges in play, I hope they do criminal charges.
No question.
Same with another Democrat, Andrew Cuomo. Remember, he had those allegations against him. I'm glad he lost his position in office and was not reelected, even though he was trying to get back in. It shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard to say, these are people who are abusing their positions of power, and it is not okay regardless of what letter you have behind your name. It should not be hard. That should be zero consideration. But somehow there's too many people who are willing and able to do mental gymnastics as to be okay with this and not okay with this. And I think a large part of it, too, is when you keep getting told, I am the victim of a witch hunt, or I am the victim of the media that is constantly attacking me and telling lies and the fake news, et cetera, et cetera. People are listening to what is being said about this Eric Swallwell, who is a Democrat, and it should not be hard at all to say, man, the allegations are disgusting. And shame on anyone who, if they knew, because now you're hearing from people going, oh, there were all those rumors. Well, who was standing by?
That happens in the sports world too, right? And by the way, past president, I did not have sexual relations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
that was disgusting too.
The Bill Clintons of the world, no question, no doubt. And by the way, if we're going to be bringing up Bill Clinton, let's go back in real time. Monica Lewinsky back there, I guess things are better because they demonized her for years. She had the scarlet letter next to her name. So this is a reminder, and not just a reminder, Ursula. I really do. I'm looking forward to the day that I could say, all right, things are actually looking up, because forever, the elephant in the room when all this happens is yes, he needs to be removed. And oh, by the way, what's up with the Epstein files? So again, it should be all even-handed, as you're saying. It should all be even-handed. I don't care who it is. If there's any suspicion, and people saying, are we shocked? Or there were rumors? Well, I mean, rumors is one thing. But if there is something provable and people are willing to testify and come forward, and I'm thankful for these women who are coming forward. I mean, he sounds like a complete disgusting criminal. Alleged. Before we move on, and I didn't warn you that I was going to bring this up, but in the sports world, I'm sure some of you all have heard about the head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, and the alleged affair between the reporter Diana Russini, works for The Atlantic, also does stuff for a contributor for the New York Times. She's been covering the NFL for some time. Now, when the pictures by Page Six first came out, Ursula, she came out right away, denied it. I was in the Sedona area. I was hiking with my friends because there was pictures of her on the rooftop holding hands with Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel came out and says, this is a bunch about nothing. The Athletic, who Diana Russini works for, actually came out and supported Diana Russini. But what they weren't prepared for is Page Six had more pictures. So they let them go ahead and step in it. And then they said, okay, now here you go. And then the Athletic had to come back and be like, after further review, we're going to put Diana Russini on leave. The reason why I'm bringing this topic up, because, sure, as a reporter, it does mess with the integrity of Diana Russini, no doubt about it. However, we're still in a world where Diana Russini will be demonized. Mike Vrabel will be coaching like nothing happened.
Thank you for bringing that up.
He will keep coaching. So this world, the same world where men get to make decisions about women's bodies, the same world where oftentimes, like 90% of the time, the person on the other end of sexual abuse is a man. I'm looking forward to the day that we actually push through these agendas, these misogynistic views. And again, Mike Vrabel, Diana Rousini probably won't work for a while. Mike Vrabel, the NFL draft is coming up.
Yeah.
Nothing. Matter of fact, his owner, Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots, you remember him? Remember he was alleged to be in that massage place where there was trafficking happening? So this doesn't happen just all in a vacuum. This is constantly happening over and over and over, like Marshawn say, and over again.
And as long as they're not held accountable, nothing changes. And when you look at the Swallwell thing or any of these situations, so often it's because they're in positions of leadership and have a lot of influence. And a lot of these young women are coming into Washington, D.C., hoping to make a run at a life in politics. And they are willing to work all kinds of hours. They're willing to work for, not great pay.
Yeah.
And these men know that they have a lot of power over them. And yeah, you can do these gymnastics in your head. Well, it's an adult, but you are in a position of power. You are taking advantage of a subordinate, and it's disgusting. And they need to be held accountable.
Okay. I'm going to ask you and you listening, women I'm talking to. I need to really know this. Ursula, what happens why is it that we have seen the support of people that have alleged to be connected, or if they're not connected, it seems like they're protecting the Epstein files? Why do we sometimes see women kind of turn the other way when there's accusations of someone that's on their same political side of things?
Can you give me an example? Sorry, I'm not tracking.
I mean, like, of all the things that come out about Donald Trump, constantly, all the time, it's in the past, it's documented, black and white. Why does he still, and did in the election, get the support so much of women?
Because, for everyone it's different, but I would say, just speaking largely, I think because people are able to compartmentalize. He has successfully, in many ways, managed to make people believe that that the media is not to be believed, that these are quote unquote trumped up charges, part of a witch hunt, and that he has faced more criticism than any president in the past, and that he gets unfair treatment. They're convinced of that, and don't believe anything that they listen to unless it's Fox News or supporters of his. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they're thinking, well, I believe that he is a Christian. I believe that he is, this, that, or the other, and that aligns with me. So that's the better choice for me.
Right.
Even though, for some people, that was supposed to be a deal breaker when he said, I grab women in the what.
Right.
He outright said it on camera. But that did not stop people.
Do you think that when that justification is made, that there's no part of them that realizes that this helps continue that behavior? Like, let's take away Donald Trump, but that behavior leads into our communities, whether it's bosses. Like, we are really the power that people have continued. Like, it's not just the president.
You brought up Harvey Weinstein. You brought up Jeffrey Epstein. You brought up, we talked about the, Governor Cuomo, Eric Swallwell. It's not just one party. It is men in power. And too many people are willing to excuse the men in power versus taking up for the women who are the victims.
Very well said, Ursula. Very well said. All right. Coming up next, Ursula, when you teased this topic earlier, I just want to tell y'all, I'm very uncomfortable with this topic because the topic is about
free will.
Free will. Yeah. A lot of the folks ain't as free as you think with the free will. All right, we'll talk about that next, Gee Ursula.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Owie, wowie!
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at apolloplumbing.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. Lebanon and Israel are holding direct diplomatic talks for the first time in decades. The meeting at the State Department began Tuesday following more than a month of conflict between Israel and the militant group Hezbollah. Secretary of State Marco Rubio calls the talks a historic opportunity, but makes it clear that no breakthrough agreement is immediately expected. President Trump is suggesting that talks with Iran could soon rekindle. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
The president says U.S.-Iran peace talks could be happening over the next 2 days in Pakistan. In an interview with the New York Post, Trump praised Pakistan's Field Marshal General Asim Munir, saying, quote, "He's fantastic, and therefore it's more likely that we go back there." The president also downplayed reports that the U.S. had asked Iran during the failed weekend talks to suspend uranium enrichment for at least 2 decades. He said, quote, "I've been saying that they can't have nuclear weapons, so I don't like the 20 years. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Dozens of people in the town of Pacific are suing the King County Flood Control District after floodwaters from the White River damaged their homes back in December. KIRO 7's Brandon Thompson reports 83 people signed on to the suit blaming failed levees.
Both Lily and Jacqueline, who both live on White River Drive, were not home when the levee breached.
Something in my gut kept saying this doesn't feel right.
Watching the evacuations come in and waters rise from their Ring cameras.
My cameras have audio. I can hear people screaming, "Oh my God!" Oh, it sounded like we were in a war.
The breach happened when water shot through these HESCO barriers that have been in place since 2008.
No comment so far from the King County Flood Control District. And the clock is ticking as Seattle races to provide 500 shelter units ahead of the World Cup. That's about 60 days away. Seattle City Council will sign off on measures later today to accelerate shelter construction, but they say they're skeptical about the timeline. They have additional questions about cost. On Wall Street, the Dow is moving up. It's up 300 points at this point, at this time. NASDAQ making some modest gains. You're looking at, actually, it's jumped up significantly at 426 points, and the S&P 500 up 77 points. KIRO News Radio traffic. We're seeing some significant slowdowns from SeaTac to Seattle. You're looking at 30 minutes due to some delays heading into town compared to the typical 18 minutes. HOV lanes will save you some time at 21 minutes. Elsewhere, we're seeing some light delays, likely due to some of the rain that's creeping in and out and some gusty winds. Light delays heading north from Bellevue to Linwood, south from Bellevue to Renton. And we're seeing a slowdown into Seattle from Bellevue by about 3 minutes on I-90, taking you about 17 minutes. This traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube. Click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. Taking a look at your weather forecast, the rain is continuing today. We expect accumulation rainfall of about a half an inch and some gusty winds from 15 to 25 miles an hour. Rain continuing tomorrow and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon, the high 49 degrees. Currently in downtown Seattle, we have clouds and 49 degrees. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a Tuesday morning, and we sure appreciate you hanging out with us. So put your deep thinking cap on, because we want to know how much of your life is actually your choice. Really yours, not shaped by expectations, what other people think, routines, or what everyone else is doing. I mean, your free will. Because there's new research out of the journal Imaging Neuroscience that suggests the line between free will and just going along with it is a lot thinner than we actually think. They found that whether you're given a ton of options or just one, your brain reacts almost the same. It doesn't light up with some big sense of freedom when you are choosing. It actually relaxes most when the decision is made quickly. So in other words, it's not just the freedom that we crave. We want that relief when we just make a decision. So why do we default to the same coffee order or the same route to work, the same habits day after day? It's not because we actually love them, but it's actually because they're easy and that's what our brain wants. Yeah. So the question for you is, if most of our choices are on autopilot, how much of our life is actually ours?
Well, I guess it depends on who you are. I think that is totally subjective. You know, this is a very hard one for me because I look at life like, since I've been talking a lot about bowling, I look at my life like bowling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And some of you all are amazing bowlers, and so much so that you can go bowl the strikes and you don't need the little bumpers. Right? Mm-hmm. I need bumpers in my life because if I don't have bumpers, I'm going to go in the gutter, no question. So I think that whether we talk about free will and how much free will you have, your upbringing matters. Circumstances that you've gone through matters. So some people have more, some have less. I am handcuffed by routine a lot. And the thing is I know that I'm not comparing myself to animals, but animals. If you let animals get out of routine, go ahead home and watch what kind of mess you might have when your dog is out of a routine. I'm just like that, Ursula, if I don't have a routine. So I don't have the free will. As a matter of fact, if I have too much free will, I'm in trouble. Shout out to all of you all that's like, yes, G, I do what I want and when I want. Do you? Do you really do what you want when you want? I do believe there are some people that way. And some people suffer consequences because of that too. So that's why I was very uncomfortable with this free will, because I realized I don't have the free will that most folks have.
Jesus says free will is an illusion. Now, I will say that as I have gotten older, I am much more comfortable exercising my free will.
Fair.
I am much more comfortable doing what I want with the money that I've earned. Mm-hmm. I am much more comfortable. I have already plotted out and have told my husband exactly how much I want to work. I have talked, and thankfully we have similar goals, but, have talked about, okay, this is where I would love to live part of my life. Because I don't have, I'm not having to worry anymore about my aging parents. Mm-hmm. My kids are adults and they're not struggling. So it's like a lot of that has taken away the things that kind of dictated my choices on an everyday basis, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. have chosen now. One of the things that I don't like is I don't like unfinished business. If I am in a bad place with somebody or, for whatever reason, or there's some kind of misunderstanding, that's something that I choose. Okay, it's my free will. I am going to do what I can to correct it if I can.
Right.
I will say no to doing something that I really don't want to do and not feel obligated to do it.
Right.
Now, that used to be very hard for me. So I think some of it comes with maturity, but is it all free will? No, because society still has expectations.
Have you had a sweeping statement lately?
A few.
I got a sweeping statement for you.
Okay.
I got a sweeping statement for you.
Yeah, I'm always very reluctant to do sweeping statements, but yes.
See what you think about this one. If you're married, you have less free will than someone that's single.
That's true.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that.
Hey, you got less free will than somebody that's single.
Yes.
Somebody that's single, I got some of them homeboys like, hey, man, I'm getting ready to go to Vegas tonight. Oh, I'm just going to go hang out for a couple nights.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
hang out with different people.
The thing is that
absolutely, because you have to answer to somebody.
When I look and hear that, like, I would be, and by the way, some of those people I'm talking about, those adults, they're very good. I couldn't handle life like that. There's no way in the world. I got to be, back in the day, in the 80s, 70s and 80s, you guys remember dogs being chained to trees? I know, some folks did that, Sophia, back in the day. They actually used to just chain the dogs to the trees. Even sometimes. Sometimes you got to be chained to a tree, because if you don't, you're going to get out the yard and not come back.
Okay, now Adolfo in the 360 says, I think money plays everything into this free will. Now, you are in a much better position financially right now, and you are pointing out that no.
I'm telling you.
You need more routine, and you need to have.
Exactly, because when I had way less, my free will was up there. I was doing what I want, and that was my problem.
Yes. Sometimes whenever you can do whatever the hell you want and be danged with rules, it can get you in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to add, like, the less that you're tied down to something, the more free will I guess you can kind of have. Like, I definitely think at this stage in my life, and I definitely am exercising more free will than the other, because my routine changes, like, all the time.
That's true.
So in that regard, I
true.
can't get too comfortable for too long, because I'm like, well, I got to keep it interesting, because life is going to spice it up for me anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very fair statement that, like, if you aren't in a relationship, if you don't have a consistent schedule of anything, you might feel like you have free will, but it's also just the fact that you don't have any decisions.
So who was that said that free will is an illusion? Who said that?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, right.
Kevin in Black Diamond says, I don't know what it's like to have free will anymore or to really enjoy life. Okay, now my heart's hurting because everything is so expensive and I'm stuck in such a rut that I have no choice. I would love to have free will again and do the things that I would like to do. But it doesn't always have to be about money, because it can be like, hey, you don't have to go along with plans that you don't want to do.
Can I ask you, G, when's the last time that you have done something that deviates from your normal routine just because you had a whim decision of, I'm going to do this instead?
Well, I can't think of that other than yesterday. Yesterday, I did not go to the gym in the morning yesterday. And yesterday, I went back to sleep and woke up, ended up waking up at like 7:30 or so. And I'm going to tell you right now, the course of my day was, I was so happy to get back on my routine this morning. Like seriously, guys, like, when I'm not in my routine, I'm a mess. Terrible. All right, let's do scenarios next, Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
If by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly it's a bolt of lightning and I croak out right there, I'm fine.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
My dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed The 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
For a limited time, upgrade your home's comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. New windows help keep your home warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and your energy bills lower year-round. Plus, enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest, only through April 15th. Hurry, schedule your free estimate before April 15th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
If you're a homeowner looking to replace your comfort system, there's only one call you need to make. That's to Home Comfort Alliance, especially right now. As a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, they meet the highest standards for training, installation, and customer satisfaction. John Curley here. Efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance matter. Right now, when you upgrade to a Carrier cooling system, you get a heating system free. And they make it so easy with a 60-second price estimator. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com now. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My friends and I are planning a little trip out of town. Nothing crazy, just a fun weekend. Now, we didn't invite one friend because we know that she isn't doing well financially. They got some kids, and work has been a challenge, all that stuff. Even if she decided to come, she can really never afford to go like we all want to. It's a huge bummer, but this now feels like a secret trip, and I am feeling guilty as it gets closer. Am I doing something wrong? What should I do? I really need your advice. 888-973-5476. It's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up the bat first.
Okay, if it's not too late, and this is someone that you would want if it was affordable to her, I would extend the invitation and say, hey, we would love for you to come. And it would be up to her to decide whether this is something, and you can tell her, these are the things that we're planning to do over the weekend, and, this is kind of the approximate cost. We're expecting everybody to chip in for the housing and blah, 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 and maybe we split the food, and this is kind of what we're budgeting. Your friend can make the decision whether she wants to go, whether she can afford it or not.
Yeah.
That's what I would rather do versus exclude someone, assuming that they just can't afford it. Mm-hmm. Another option would be, if you really, really want her to go and you know that she's going through tough times, what a great gift if you all, kind of do a group, hey, we want to treat you to this and we're going to include you and split it up the number of different ways. Because now you are going to feel like it was a secret trip. Your friend's going to feel like she wasn't part of the friend group and didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Even though she would have, if not for the affordability factor. So let her be the one to decide if she can afford it or not.
Right. I agree with you 100%. And yes, it is a secret trip. And yes, you should tell your friend. But I want to add something to this. And this is some real advice right here. Sometimes people will not do a trip or will downsize their trip so that they can appease others. And then what ends up happening is years later, you might hold some resentment and you being like, yo, I should have did it. Because sometimes you might feel love for others, but them others ain't got that same love for you. So my advice, tell your friend, hey, we're going on this trip here recently, just wanted to let you know about it, and it is what it is. And so somebody also texts in and says, hey, maybe the friend should chip in. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to feel obligated to that.
You don't have to feel obligated.
Take
but
a trip.
Sometimes as a friend group, you're like, hey, we would love for her to come, and we know it's kind of tough. If I'm in a better position, I would be okay with doing that.
Experience, Ursula. Experience has taught me sometimes you start trying to look out for folks, and the same folks ain't got that love right back. So I'm telling you, if you could take that trip, because when you get to them pearly gates and they ask you, how come you didn't go on that big trip? Lisa just held you back, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Lisa wasn't that loyal to you.
Okay, but can you agree though that people can show their loyalty in other ways? Like, for example, if I give someone a physical gift, or if I give someone something that is worth a certain amount of money, I don't go into it thinking, okay, well, I need to get that in return.
No.
I give because I want to give. And I think you're the same way.
I am the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, I'm not downsizing my trip ever again.
Oh, okay. It sounds like there's a personal story here.
Yeah. Sophia, what you got?
Well, can I just say, I do think that this person's being a little shady in the sense, how many times have you planned, a trip that's out of this person's budget? And you're like, they just can never come. It's not coming from the position of them being I'm downsizing the trip or, not doing the trip at all. It kind of came from the position of yeah, I'm just not going to invite this person because they can never afford to do what I want to do. That feels a little shady to me. And if y'all are genuinely friends, you should be able to have an open dialogue of being look, this is what I want to do. If you can't come, I totally get it. But this is what we're doing. It feels a little shady. I don't know. That's my take.
I just want to say, speaking of, this is random. Before we get to Nick in 30 seconds, I got to tell you, Sophia gave me the most awesome gift. Sophia, that was really nice. That was really a cool gift. And the crazy thing is I opened the gift part because the card wasn't with it at first.
Oh, it fell out.
And so, and I didn't know, and I saw it was a couple bottles of wine or something like that.
It was a bottle of wine and then some sparkling water and glass bottles.
And some sparkling water and so I love it. I said, I didn't know who it was from. I said, whoever gave me this, they really know me. And Lillian says, oh, they definitely know you in the glass bottles. Then I read the card. It was from Sophia.
Of course.
And of course, Ursula, you give me that. Hey, your gifts get put to use right away. It went towards
I asked Lillian. I actually reached out to Lillian because I was I can't do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Not bad.
What do you got, Brother Nick?
Well, I wouldn't make any assumptions for the friends you're trying to leave out initially. Just because you have an idea she might not be able to afford it or might not be in the right place in her life for it, because it could be worse drama with the aftermath of her figuring out she was left out when she maybe needed this more than anything. So give her the offer, whether she accepts it or not, just to let her know the group is thinking of her and she has the option to still join in on the fun if she's able and wants to. If you follow through with the former plan of leaving her out, I would maybe find another friend group on the other side if they're going to revert to making it a clique-type vibe. Those aren't the people I think you'd want to be with.
Wow. Good one, Nick. I got to read this one. I'm not going to mention her name. Love the advice. My best friends all went on a couples trip, and I found out on Instagram. My husband is disabled and we have 2 kids, so they decided to just not include us. No one brings it up to this day.
Heartbroken.
That's heartbroken.
See, it's shady.
Yeah,
it's a little shady. If you're a real friend,
you bring it up. We all were on the same page. You don't have that a secret. All right, Ursula. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we did have the police chief on our show this morning. Ursula's going to bring that back up and some things that were said. And so if you missed it, great. If you didn't, great. We got you covered. Do that next, Gee and Ursula.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store and online. Staples, that was easy.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
For a limited time, upgrade your home's comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. New windows help keep your home warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and your energy bills lower year-round. Plus, enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest, only through April 15th. Hurry, schedule your free estimate before April 15th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. More women are coming forward accusing Democratic Congressman Eric Swallwell of sexual assault. Lana Drewis is one of them. She believes she had been drugged and then brought to his hotel room.
He raped me. And he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness.
CBS's Nancy Cordes also reports.
The Manhattan District Attorney has confirmed that it is investigating one allegation, a woman who says that she was raped in a hotel room in New York. And these criminal allegations are just getting started. There is a House Ethics Committee investigation that was opened yesterday that will probably peter out if and when he does resign from Congress.
Swalwell has announced he is resigning from Congress and has also suspended his campaign for California governor. The U.S. blockade of Iran's ports is now in its second day as Washington pressures Tehran to relinquish control of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran is threatening to retaliate. Meantime, CBS's Olivia Rinaldi says Pakistan is trying to arrange a second round of U.S.-Iran peace talks.
We are told that there are potentially some talks that could happen soon. We yesterday could report that there were some diplomatic back channels where the U.S. and Iran were talking through, and perhaps that's a positive sign, but no breakthrough development as of yet.
Lebanese and Israeli officials are meeting in Washington, D.C. for the first direct diplomatic talks between the two countries since 1993. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is taking part. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports.
Lebanon hopes that it will be able to convince Israel that it has good intentions to regain sovereignty over the whole country. Israel wants Hezbollah to disarm. The problem is that Hezbollah is not at the table. They show no signs of wanting to disarm. They're still backed by Iran.
Police have released the Michigan man whose wife disappeared in the Bahamas. Brian Hooker claims his wife, Lynette, fell off their boat during a nighttime ride and was swept away by the current. Hooker tells CBS News he believes his wife could still be alive.
I believe I've been told that people have lasted in the Bahamas after falling overboard for days and even weeks.
There's property damage, but no injuries reported after a 5.7 earthquake rattled the rural area of Nevada east of Carson City. It came as a bit of a surprise to Christy Rowe of the Nevada Seismological Lab.
We don't have a name for this fault. We suspected there were faults in this valley, but this one doesn't actually have a name. It's not known to science, so it's going to be a new one that we can add to the map after this event.
Stocks are up on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony Tacoma. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Coming up, newly released video from that King County Metro bus crash. But first, a look at traffic. We've got a stubborn slowdown heading northbound from SeaTac to Seattle, starting right after you pass Boeing Field. Currently, SeaTac to Seattle takes 24 minutes unless you use the HOV lanes, which just takes 15. Heading southbound on I-5 in Seattle, there was a collision partially blocking the ramp to I-90. Looks like that has cleared, but still expect slowdowns heading out of town. Renton to Bellevue, you have similar problems. We're seeing some steady slowdowns. That means it will take at least 26 minutes to go that route. Big trouble spot, predictable ones, right after Highway 167 and then again at 169. And Linwood to Bellevue is slowing down. Instead of 26 minutes, it'll take you about 30. Again, the HOV lanes cut that by almost half to just 16 minutes. There's construction in that area, so that could be the culprit. You'll see it starting at Canyon Park. This traffic report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Randy Johnson Number Retirement Ceremony Night, presented by T-Mobile, is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm John Repp. Video from last month's King County Metro bus crash is now being released. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says it appears to show the driver slam into 7 vehicles on a busy North Seattle street, then tell responders his blood pressure was too low.
The audio is scary enough. A Metro bus crashing into 7 different vehicles along a mile stretch of Greenwood Avenue in North Seattle back on March 18th. Are you all right, brother? Passenger Ernie Mackison, credited with grabbing the wheel and hitting the brakes, tells the John Curley Show the driver said he was suffering from low blood pressure.
You knew about this dude's blood pressure problem. You let him drive.
And on board that bus, the driver appeared to confirm that.
Yeah, I think my blood pressure.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Bellevue have been working for 2 years to apprehend an organized group of roaming thieves who targeted elderly individuals on the street and stole expensive jewelry. Last week, Bellevue officers caught up with 2 members in Federal Way and arrested them in Kirkland.
You're under arrest for theft, for stealing.
What stealing?
Stealing people's money, jewelry.
No.
Oh, yeah. We've been watching you.
Police emphasize the investigation is ongoing, could lead to additional arrests. Tacoma parkgoers could see reduced operating hours, other cutbacks after an estimated $3 million shortfall. The News Tribune reports the funding shortage at Parks Tacoma is because of insufficient financial oversight, among other things. They're now in the process of hiring an internal auditor. Seattle is ramping up cleanup efforts ahead of the 2026 World Cup.
A new Seattle Clean City report shows crews and volunteers removed 5.3 million pounds of trash last year, including more than 660,000 needles. It took nearly 32,000 volunteer hours to make it happen. Seattle is getting ready for 750,000 visitors later this year for the World Cup. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio weather, rain off and on throughout the day, mostly on. Winds picking up too. Expect gusts of up to 25 miles an hour, the high of 49 degrees. Thunderstorms tomorrow, but the overall trend is the rain stopping on Thursday and Friday. Clouds staying with us though. Currently in downtown Seattle, we have light rain, heavy clouds, 49 degrees. I'm John Repp. KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Is it just me, or did the first 2 hours fly on by?
Flew by.
Look, it's already 11:07. Wow. Okay, coming up at 11:30, of course, we're going to do Agree to Disagree. More and more of you apparently watching us on video and having comments about that. I think they're saying it's a lot more fun watching. So you can see us on YouTube if you haven't already discovered that yet.
All right.
But as always, we want you to be part of the show, and we want you to text us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. You ready?
Let's get it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So as we've been telling you, we are expecting hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world to travel to the Seattle area this summer for the World Cup, right? And so, of course, public safety is going to be a big concern.
Yeah.
So it came as a surprise to us to learn that Seattle police are not going to be using closed-circuit TV cameras to help monitor crowds. And this is a result of a directive by Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson, who has paused the expansion of these new CCTV cameras because she wants a comprehensive security audit done. And this is over concerns about public surveillance and the potential for federal immigration enforcement using the footage. So the cameras are going to remain dark unless there is a credible threat. You and I have strong opinions about that. We think that's crazy, but we asked Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes about it this morning.
Well, the thing is you cannot predict when and where bad behavior will be, but I will say that the placement of the cameras have been spot on. The cameras actually assisted in 17 homicide cases, but were able to help to solve 10 of those. And so they're very, very well placed, but this decision is out of my hands at this particular time. We've given all the information that we can give. We have made the case, and my instruction to folks is to follow our existing rules, and we will allow the decision makers, policy makers, people who will be guiding the future of what Real-Time Crime Center will look like here in Seattle.
Ursula, you guys heard what he said. And by the way, you ever have somebody tell you, hey, it's out of my hands? It's like, it just hurts worse. Like, hey, sorry, G, this is out of my hands. And just hearing the police chief, it's out of my hands, you can hear it. But I want to give you, some of you guys like numbers, especially Ursula. You guys love numbers. You heard him say that the cameras assisted in 17 homicide cases. It helped solve 10 of those. Let me give you some other numbers. The clearance rate in Seattle in 2024 was 57%. The national average is 61% for clearance rate. Guess what the clearance rate was in 2025? 86%. Let me say that again. It was 57% in 2024. It was 86% in 2025 for SPD. And so now you want to turn the cameras off?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And I also understand. So, we asked the chief a number of different ways. He's not going to talk bad about a decision made by the mayor right now. I mean, there was a question before as she was coming in, is she going to keep the police chief? So I'm sure that there are conversations, and he made it very clear that he's going to give the mayor and the mayor's office the information when there is a specific credible threat. But could it be that when that happens, then it's too late? I understand. I'm not trying to say that I don't understand the potential for misuse of these cameras. It feels like there needs to be some kind of happy medium or some way to protect against the wrong usage of the cameras while not taking away this tool that when you have all these people here and the other numbers. He gave us the numbers. They're supposed to have, 1,300 or 1,400 officers, and even though they're recruiting more police officers to SPD, we're still well below what we need as a city this size. So the reality is this is a tool that they need, and they're not going to have it.
Speaking of, before you move on, Real-Time Crime Center, that's what this is. It launched in May of last year, and it assisted investigating 17 homicide cases. 45% of the total cases and contributed to 10 of them being solved.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the evidence is there. It can help.
It's one thing when you guys on the text line ask me a question and I tell you, hey, it's out of my hands. It's the bosses here. We talk about homicides being solved, clearance rates increasing, like real data to show. And now we want to talk about something else. So my point is, as we move on, when you turn the cameras off, and they're off, now what? The cameras are off. We have a shortage of law enforcement. Now what? Who answers that? Because I can assure you, the people that live in neighborhoods where the hot spots happen, they don't live in those neighborhoods. Again.
If you disagree with us, text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I always love to hear a differing opinion because you and I are landing on the same page on this. But another thing we talked about was homeless encampments, and just want to. A lot of attention's been paid to some of these camps in Beacon Hill parks. One in particular in the Dr. Jose Rizal Park. Just days after the city cleared these encampments, the tents are already back, and there were 3 tents pitched right at the base of the Jose Rizal Monument, which is a site that means a lot to Seattle's Filipino community. And neighbors are frustrated and spoke to KOMO 4 News.
We need to have cops treating this as a beat situation. We need a solution. That solution is realizable. The time has come to act.
And, Gee, we asked Chief Barnes about this.
Yeah, so let me be clear. Police departments should not be involved in homeless removal or homeless policing. It has never worked in any police department that I've ever studied. It works best when you bring in other resources like our unified care team and other resources, and these some of our nonprofits that get a lot of funding to deal with this issue. They are best to deal with this issue. We're there to ensure that no one gets hurt, that the persons can be moved or relocated or found permanent housing if there's something that happens, but we should not own homelessness.
Yeah. Well, in this particular deal, the city contacted 150 people before the sweep. Mm-hmm. Only 27 accepted shelter. Now, I want to have and land on this discussion because we have said, and we all agree, we can't sweep our way out of this problem. There's things that we need to deal with: mental health, addiction, lack of shelter, wages, affordability, everything. But Ursula, here's really my question. When people hear about sweeps happening, and they happen, like, hey, get them out of this area. It's too much. Do you think people care where they go? I just meant text in, by the way. Or is it one of those things where you're like, you know what, G, my compassion's done. Get them out of here and send them. And by the way, if they don't accept the shelter, do you guys want them jailed? And where do they go?
I think that's one of the big questions. So my answer to you is going to be not a sweeping statement. I think some people truly care. And I think there are some people who just don't want them in their sight. They don't care beyond that. It's just, I don't want them here.
I'd say most.
I have no way of determining whether that's truth or not. And I respect your opinion. Okay. Yep. And I would hope that people are more compassionate about that. But I know that if this were happening in my neighborhood park, I actually happen to live right next to a park. And if every day I saw crimes being committed by people who happen to be unhoused, and it's not a crime to be homeless, but when you are harming others or you are, sadly, you're trespassing also at the very least. Mm-hmm. But and when it acts as a front for crime rings, which we have found that some of them do, sure. Yeah, I want them. I want them out. Yeah. And I can see where you would lose your sense of compassion when you're like, the crimes are happening right underneath my nose.
Yeah, I'm not for the crime either.
But the question is, yeah. So what should happen when they're offered shelter and there is available shelter? Because we always hear about there's no available shelter. Right. But if there is provable available shelter and someone chooses not to, then yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like at the very least, you may have to spend a night in jail. And I say that and I hate myself for it, but I think the reality is, I mean, you have an option for shelter and you're choosing not to, but we're also telling you it's illegal to stay in this public property here where it's unsafe for you and unsafe for others. So what options do you have?
Right.
I mean, and I guess I would love to hear your answer. Because I don't think there's an easy answer.
No. It's not. You know, I'll just use myself for an example, and you guys know I love analogies. And my example would be, I didn't gain all this weight overnight, right? It took years for me to gain this weight. Guess what? To lose this weight, I also can't lose it overnight. Mm-hmm. We have this crisis today. It didn't happen overnight.
It's true.
We have this crisis today because you guys, it wasn't the war on drugs. It was the war on people. We have this crisis today because we lacked and we divested in communities that were redlined. We have this problem today because we decided to continue people not being able to afford things. We had gentrification. We had there's so many things that have contributed to why we are here.
Agree, by the way. Agree.
Yeah, all of the reasons. So to say that we're going to get out of this by just sweeping, if little Johnny at the house and you tell him to clean his room and you say you better clean everything up and you come in his room and everything's cleaned up, aren't you kind of curious where it went?
Yes.
If it went into the closet, did you fix anything?
Yes. But my question goes back to the most difficult ones, I think, are the situations where they're not willing to take in the housing. They're not willing. They say, I don't want to deal with any rules that go along with these shelters, or that I don't want to take part in the drug rehab or the things that are being offered. I want to be here on the side of the freeway or on this park because I don't want to deal with those rules. Yeah. What do you do?
Well,
that's the hard part.
No,
well, that's one of many hard parts.
It is the hard part.
The hard part.
Okay, so check this out. Let's just take a park, right? And let's say, well, first of all, if the park is in Seattle, it's a lot more lenient. If the park is in Bellevue.
This is true.
Because
and by the way, Seattle takes on a lot of what would have been in Bellevue.
Because King County here, they expect Seattle to take care of everything, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, when I go to Bellevue, it's so nice." Right? No question. It is. I agree with you.
You're talking about me because I went to Bellevue on light rail and I was like, man.
I'm talking about me too.
It's markedly different.
There's reasons why parts of King County look nicer than other parts of King County.
Seattle has all the services.
But I want to go back to your question. I don't want to dodge that, right? Yes. So you have, let's say you have 100 people in the park and you give them the 3-day notice. Hey, look, y'all. We coming in here. We're going to have y'all leave. There's opportunity for shelter and all those things and all of that. But if you're here, just so you know, you cannot be here, right? So, unfortunately, yes, that might have to happen.
Yeah. But what might have to happen, though? I mean, they say, no, I don't want to. Then what? You can't just move them down the street. They're going to come right back.
If you're defying the order, you might, unfortunately, you might have to get arrested.
Yes.
If you defy the order.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is this part of it won't stop happening, and it will continue to get worse because I don't think that we are doing enough on the front end. Like right now, there are people that are barely making it.
Agreed.
So anytime you try to have some type of help in that way, people say, gee, You're offering handouts. Gee, you always want to give people money. But my thing is why can't we stop people, prevent people from getting to that point?
Yes. We absolutely need to do a better job with that. Yeah. Absolutely. But when they are there and refusing all options and repeatedly refusing all options. I mean, Dan in Maple Valley texts in and says the compassionate thing may be to make living unsheltered difficult, and they will give up and accept the shelter.
Dan actually said something reasonable?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, I don't even be reading what Dan be saying these days, but go ahead.
Yes. I mean, the idea would be don't keep enabling them to continue living in the park when, there's no good from that.
Sure. It's Ursula, before we move out of this, it's an awful topic to talk about. And the reason why it's awful is because of this, is I believe that it is designed and we are setting up way too late to help people. Like some folks that are out there, they're really, they've been out here chronically homeless for years, 15, 20 years out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's not like they don't know differently.
They don't even know anything different. I just hope that somehow, some way, we do a better job of preventing those from being unhoused. All right. Coming up next, I haven't been part of a Sophia Agree to Disagree in a minute. So we'll do all that next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO Newsradio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to you at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Upgrade your comfort and cut energy costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off whole home projects. Enjoy 18 months, no payments, no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 15th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at ApolloPlumbing.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm John Repp. The International Monetary Fund is warning that the global economy is at risk for recession if the Iran war continues and high energy prices persist, calling that a worst-case scenario. BBC News' Mark Ashdown has more.
The report said global inflation could rise to between 4.4% and 6% by 2027. The clear message is that the war has already had an impact on global economies. The question now is how much worse could it get?
A 17-year-old boy was shot in the back early this morning and is recovering at Harborview Medical Center. We get the story from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
SPD says the shooting happened just after 3 a.m. near the Atlantic City boat launch in the Seward Park neighborhood. The 17-year-old victim was in a car with two other boys, 13 and 17, when someone opened fire. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
They were driving on Seward Park Avenue South when gunshots were heard and the victim was shot inside the vehicle.
King County deputies found the teen in the Skyway neighborhood. He told them he was shot near Seward Park. So far, no arrests have been made. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
After more than 18 months of construction, the Edgewater neighborhood between Everett and Mukilteo is getting its bridge back. The project has cut the neighborhood in two, creating long delays for residents like Sid and Judy.
It needed doing. It's going to be better than it was. So, we're okay with it. It's just that it's been, a hassle. And it's gone a lot longer than original.
Yeah, the project should have taken about a year. Issues during excavation and construction added about 6 months to the schedule. Almond Roa has been around since 1923, and starting this summer, the Tacoma-based candy maker says they'll roll out their first new flavor variation in more than 50 years with the debut of a hazelnut mountain bar for widespread distribution this summer. On Wall Street, we are watching a rally underway. The S&P 500 climbing back towards record territory. It's up 65 points. The Dow is up 249, and the NASDAQ is up 380. NASDAQ attempting its longest winning streak since 2021. KIRO Newsradio traffic. If you're heading southbound to Renton, definitely take I-5 through Seattle. It'll take you 30 minutes compared to 42 minutes going slowly through Bothell, approaching Highway 522 on 405. Traveling north into Seattle from SeaTac, it is still slowing down, approaching the West Seattle Bridge. Federal Way into Bellevue will take you about 32 minutes. That's slow going, especially as you approach 405. And no other big surprises right now, although we are dealing with the rain. I am seeing some heavy traffic in Federal Way, where Highway 161 meets South 348th Street, right over by that Shell station. KIRO News Radio weather, rain throughout the day and breezy. The high of 49 degrees. We're looking at a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow as spring weather moves through our region, but drying out, although the clouds will stay with us into the weekend. Currently 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:34 on this Tuesday morning. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Nick, sometimes I'm convinced those song choices are just for me at this point.
Ursula, are we ever going to get our chat back with the YouTube?
I'm ready for it to come back.
Or is it out of your hands?
That one's out of my hands. That one.
Don't you feel some kind of way the fact that the Gee and Ursula Show? I wonder what it is.
How come it was
it's not just your show.
What other shows don't have it?
None of them.
It's just Curly who has it back. Does Curly have his back?
No one has YouTube comments.
Yeah,
Curly. Wait a minute. Then Dennis in the 206.
Yeah, he does.
Morning News has it.
Yeah, Morning News has it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get to agree to disagree. Let's get to agree to disagree.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey, remember that conversation on free will?
Yes.
Hey, everybody. This is where free will comes into play. Because if I was free to say what I want to say,
we would tell you the real story.
All right, go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, let's talk about dating. Let's switch it. Let's switch it up. So there is a new dating trend that is making headlines. The allure of a choremance. And now hear me out here. Hear me out. In lieu of a typical date night, more couples are saying they are making it, date night, spending time together, doing the things you might be avoiding to do alone. Maybe it's grocery shopping or, emptying the dishwasher. And before you roll your eyes, oftentimes a big issue in relationships is being too busy for any quality time together. So people are saying this solves this. You create quality time without any added pressure. But what do you think? Should we normalize romanticizing the little things in life? Or is this just a cop-out and avoiding putting real effort into your relationship?
You start.
Yeah. I think that dates or relationship, there needs to be something that you are working towards. I think that is really important. Whether it is, hey, this weekend we're going to be doing these things around the house. It's dump run time, so we're going to go to get the dump happening. Or over the next 3 months, you want to do this and accomplish something. Because I believe that really keeps relationships really going when you're working towards something. So the choremance, I get it. I feel it.
Okay, how early are we bringing chores into the dating situation? And the reason I ask that is because I obviously have been out of the dating pool for a long time. However, I do have kind of a front row seat because I happen to have sons who give me information, share, when we have our conversations and they talk about their dating life, I end up finding out that there are a lot of women who, the nice dates and going out to fancy dinners and going out to this spa and this thing and the other thing, those are all great. But sometimes they just want to see what it's like to hang out with you at home.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. I mean, you can learn a lot about someone based on how they clean. That's for sure.
This is true.
But do we think this is a cop out, or do we think this is a great way to spend quality time?
I think it's a great way. I think the sooner you can see,
I think it's a great way.
If you're thinking this is someone I could see potentially as my long-term partner,
right?
Once you get into that kind of thing and see how they are really behind all the fluffy and fancy stuff, I think the better you are.
Before we go, can I ask you guys a question? Maybe you guys can help me. Why is it, because you say you find out a lot about a person by the way they clean, how come the fellas usually have a dirty house and clean car and the women have a clean house and a dirty car?
This is so true. This is
Why is that? I mean, as somebody who did car detailing for a long time.
Yeah, you saw that.
I saw that.
That's a sweeping statement that's been verified by.
Yeah, maybe you guys, if you could text us, let me know why. Ursula, what do you think? Sophia, what do you guys think? Why you got a clean house and a dirty car?
Okay, I'll speak for myself.
Okay.
I spend way more time at home.
Okay.
I have more people who are going to see me in my home. I mean, I can't even get out of my house without making the bed. Like, I feel unkempt if my bed is not made.
Yeah.
But my car, I'm lucky if I go to the car wash once a month.
No, I think it's a level of care too. I mean, maybe just sometimes more guys they care more about their car, or they're
Then
more
they're home.
And I will say, my car is dirtier than it's ever been before because I don't have the motivation of it used to be. I would come home every couple of months and I would know that my dad would see my car. If he saw my car was dirty, he would be like, this is unacceptable. So I'd have that in the back of my mind.
Find out a lot
every
about a person.
Every 3 months, I'd get a car wash. But now I have that accountability.
Wow. Hey, Ursula and Sophia were stumped a little bit. Maybe you guys can text me and help me out. All
Okay,
right, what's next?
wait. No. I want to hear your theory.
Yeah,
Why do you think it is?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Gee.
No. I don't have a theory. I don't know. It just
not
is.
Knowing has not stopped you from having an opinion. What do you think it is?
Well, I'll take a guess. I think it's priorities. I think guys just want to show off the car a little bit more because it's that bad boy kind of vibe, and the ladies, they want to make themselves feel like you can be welcome at their place. Being clean and being hospitality.
Also, in theory,
there you go. Okay.
In theory, a girl is seeing a guy's car first.
Facts. That's it.
Aha.
And he does most of the driving until you get married, and now you're married, then your wife does the driving.
Not in my household.
Yeah, speak for yourself over there.
Speak for yourself.
I'll never see you behind the wheel.
You are working so much.
Lillian's a great driver.
You need to chill.
Yes, she's a great driver.
See, all the way back.
Plus, she has a better car than me now. So I got to tell. Well, it didn't matter. She's still the best driver. All right, what's next?
Well, this is a great segue because how do we feel about car-free weekends? How do we feel about not driving at all? Because this could be your life this summer. As one of the new things that Mayor Wilson's rolling out for this weekend is bicycle weekends on Lake Washington Boulevard. So essentially, they'll close the entire stretch of road for drivers starting Memorial Day weekend. And the idea is that, residents of Seattle can better enjoy the summer without worrying about cars. They can be on bike, they can be on foot. What are your thoughts? Do we like this? Are we happy about this?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I don't know. I keep trying to tell my wife I'm ready to move up north right here so I could be without a car. I would love to not be in a car all weekend and just walk about, Ursula. Just walk. You go get some coffee? Yes. You want some boba tea? Yes. You want dinner? Yes. That's what I want. I'm back in our neighborhood where I live. We got to drive 20 minutes to go for a nice walk.
I love this idea. I love it a lot more than bike lanes that are not used. But still screw up traffic. And I also love it better than those so-called parks that they created by shutting down like little corners. I'm thinking of one that is in the Ravenna neighborhood.
Okay.
By the park and ride, where I have yet to see anybody use the boulders that are on that so-called park.
Yeah.
On the street that has now been shut off that changes the traffic flow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I love the idea of having car-free. I love what they've done in some parts of downtown. I think it's like on 2nd, where they shut down and have created spots where it's just pedestrian-friendly, no cars.
Love that. Hey, I love pedestrian-friendly situations. Kara, the cleaning lady, said, "Gee, I'm feeling attacked by my car and house." LOL. Spot on, though.
It's so true. My car. I'm embarrassed. I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it's not spotless.
All right. Well, bring on those text messages next, and then, of course, we'll have words to live by. Gee and Ursula.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready to create your home wellness retreat? Whether you love a relaxing session in infrared or traditional steam heat, we have the perfect Hilo sauna waiting for you. Up your wellness game by building your own contrast therapy studio, featuring a new sauna and our amazing Vigor Cold Plunge. Buy both and save up to $5,000. Savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Nobody should drink and drive. It's dangerous. DUI Heroes cares for their clients as people, individuals who have made a mistake. Now, if you or someone you know made the unfortunate mistake of driving under the influence and was pulled over for DUI, DUI Heroes will hear you and they will understand you. They represent and defend you, the person, helping you get your life back in order. I know Jonathan and his team, and they're wonderful people and exceptional at what they do. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let him know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So, whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee...
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's Gee and Ursula. Good morning, everybody. It's almost lunchtime, Ursula. What you got for us on the text line?
Oh, okay. That's right. You're already shut down.
Shut down.
Okay, on the house versus car debate and Gee's sweeping statement that women have clean houses but messy cars and guys have the reverse, what's the deal? Russ in the 253 says, because for guys, the house is where we dwell and our vehicles are where we live. And then Liz and McKenna says, I'm in my car a lot with my kids, so everything is grab and go. My house I have to live in, so it gets more attention. Yeah, I'm with you.
And in the same way, Goodfellas says, because women have kids to transport, women are multitasking and are way busier and have way more projects to take with them. Women have to eat on the run and get all their jobs and obligations. That's why their cars get messy.
Facts, and more facts. Okay, on family fun, we're talking about the cost of going to the fair, which we're not trying to talk bad about going to the fair, but expect to bring a big fat wallet.
Right.
Did you say corn dogs over $20?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about a brisket sandwich.
Brisket being $22.
Oh my word. Okay, Nikki in the 253 says fair food just doesn't taste the same when you know you have spent 10 times the price you did 5 years ago. Regardless if you want to believe it, it just sours the taste.
Kirk in Mount Vernon said, my neighbors have 6 of their own kids. For them, they go to McDonald's and it's over $100. That's why it's a super treat for them.
That's so true too. Glenn in Duval says, we used to go to the Cayman Islands for vacation. Now we go to Pullman for Parents Weekend. Hey, by the way, Pullman on Parents Weekend?
Yeah.
I heard that's pretty crazy for the parents.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, shocker. The parents.
They're raging.
They're not used to that kind of thing, if you know what I'm saying.
No. They partake in the thing is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle in Maple Valley said, I was just thinking about the conversation on the spring fair. As a parent of 3 young kids, one thing I have to remind myself is that what my kids really want is my time and attention. So we go to the fair. I don't need to put pressure on myself to buy them all the game tickets and rides. Some of my best childhood memories of the fair involve my mom bringing peanut butter sandwiches and letting us kids run around playing hide and seek.
On homeless encampments and removals, I think that was one of the better conversations that we've had discussing that, and that was in the 11 o'clock hour. Mm-hmm. If you missed any of it, I would strongly suggest that you listen to our podcast. Crystal in Tacoma says, talk to those who have successfully gotten clean at the Seattle Rescue Mission. Sometimes going to jail is rock bottom, and some will refuse to help, but living on the street and doing drugs cannot be an option.
Mm-hmm. Allison from Steilacoom said, I have empathy for the unhoused.
I got to stop you.
Yes, please.
Because you're from California.
I know. I do this every time. And did you hear me pause before I said it?
I did.
Like,
that's why I'm going to help you.
Every time. I'm getting better, guys.
Okay,
I promise.
yes.
I promise. She said, I have empathy for the unhoused, but my children's safety comes first. If they don't want the help, I have a hard time supporting enabling them to live in squalor and ruined neighborhoods.
Okay, then we had a lot of people weighing in on the idea of free will. And Gee, what did you tell us about that? You said if you had too much free will, you'd be in deep doo-doo.
I'd be in trouble. Yes.
Okay, 253 says, married people have the same free will. They just use it to make choices to honor their commitments. Parentheses, usually.
Son in Bothell said, I like both free will and I like structure. I call it flexible structure. It works out pretty well for me. I have a guideline for what I need to do that day and I kind of map it out. But then if I do have some free time, I appreciate it.
I love that. And I actually texted back to Son because I was like, I like to think of it that way. Like, I have to have some structure,
right?
But I have to have some ability to just do whatever the heck I want.
Yep.
And it's definitely easier the older you get. Okay, on not giving a friend the invite because you think they can't afford going on this girls' weekend, Allison from Steilacoom says, I am definitely that broke friend in this situation. And in all honesty, it would hurt my feelings if I weren't invited. I'm just not in the season of my life to spend a lot of money on vacations. When I've got 2 young kids, it's going to be my time someday, but that should be my decision to make if they're really my friend.
Yeah. All right, Ursula. It's now time for your good old words to live by.
And I'm going to quote Douglas MacArthur here, talking about difficult decisions. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others.
Who said that, P. Hexa?
No, that would be General Douglas MacArthur. Funny.
Nick, what do you got, man?
Well, I'm surprised with you to see these prices for the fair, with a corn dog costing more than your own leather sofa chair. So to make it worth your while with that money you would spend, take a note from G and check out Disneyland you could attend. But if taking your own child, like G's 6-year-old grandkid, maybe don't start on the scary pirate ride that's on the grid. Happened to me when I was a 6-year-old, and believe me, it'll get them shaking in their shoes. Maybe try the teacups first.
Okay, whoa, wait. Did you just recommend the teacups? I was going to just ask, what is the worst ride at the fair? Real quick, for you, what is
the old wooden roller coaster? Feels like it's going to break every time?
No. Remember the Gravitron? That you stand there and you spin around. Worse? Oh my!
Pushes you back.
And those mad teacups. When someone gets a hold of that teacup and starts spinning it around so fast. Man. Yeah, no, I'm done.
It's painful for adults, but it's fun for children because they're not fully developed. And no, this is actual
true.
science.
They can't go too fast.
No, it's literally part of it.
That Gravitron. Oh my goodness. All right, Ursula, thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff. See you tomorrow. Sophia, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Not a minute later.
Not 7:01. Nick, appreciate you, man.
You too, man.
The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Grainger offers the professional grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now